Today, I'm joined by a man who's looking to pick up his 10th win in his home state of California on Friday, taking on a tough and undefeated Cornelio Phipps. He's looking to put on a show on DAZN with Red Owl Boxing. Today, I'm speaking with the one
Sure.
and only Jessie Mandapat. Jesse, how you doing today?
Good. How are you? How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I am doing well myself. I want to talk to you about, before we get into the fight on Friday, how you got into the sport. How did you get into boxing?
Bad grades. Bad grades got me into boxing. Getting into trouble in school. My dad wanted to teach me discipline, and we're gonna go to Taekwondo, but Taekwondo is like a little too expensive, especially we didn't come from like a lot of money, so we found a boxing gym, and that was the cheapest thing. All we needed was a pair of gloves and paying that monthly. Back in the day, the monthly was probably like about like $30 a month, if I can
Mhm.
remember. And then we couldn't pay for a personal coach, so my dad was the one that actually ended up training me and coaching me.
Really?
Yeah,
How was that being trained by your father?
it's tough for sure. It's tough, but he pushes me to my limits, and we can't leave boxing. Even when we come home, we can't leave boxing. Boxing is always there, and it's always a conversation.
Was there a fighter when you
Okay.
trained with your dad and growing up that you wanted to emulate and be just like in the ring?
Yeah, he would always like watching Pacquiao. Pacquiao is always something that he loved watching, and then he would put it on to me. But back in the day when I was a kid, I didn't really care about watching boxing. I didn't really want to watch boxing, And he would always say, "Oh, watch this," but I'll be dozing off. My ADHD got me doing something else.
Was there a point where it sort of turned and you became more of a boxing fan and wanted to watch fighters and fights, or has it always been okay? I'll do, this is my sport, but maybe I don't watch as much as I do.
Probably once we moved into Grandpa's gym. I always felt like this was something that I always wanted to do, even when I was a kid. After 3 months of being in the sport, my dad asked me, "Oh, your grades are good. You're doing good in school. You're not getting in trouble no more. Do you want to continue?" I was all like, "Dang, I put in 3 months and now I'm going to quit." So, I just stayed into the sport, and this was something that really um something that I really wanted to do, and God willing, get my family out of, um, get into a better situation, and, being able to provide, especially since I have a daughter now and a wife. So, I want to be able to provide for all of them, especially my mom and my dad, my grandma, all of them.
You talk about
Mm.
your support system. Maybe shine a little light on them. Obviously, you just mentioned you have a daughter, you have a wife. How important
Mhm.
is it to have that support system? And I mean, to fight here in California, I'm sure you're gonna have a huge
Mhm.
crowd come Friday night.
Yeah, no, the support system is such a big thing, and I've always get like so much support from all the brothers and sisters from church as well. And coming home from a hard day of training is always nice to see your daughter happy, even though you might be tired, even though your body can't move no more. Seeing your daughter, seeing your wife, is always something to push for, and that's always something to think about, especially during the training, through all this like perseverance and all this endurance and your muscles burning and not being able to stop,
Mhm.
that's big thing that helps me push forward.
Incredible. I'm sure it gives you
Mhm.
motivation that you didn't know you had before you had a daughter and a wife. That's
Oh
incredible.
yeah. Oh yeah. Big time.
When when looking at this fight on Friday, do you think that this is the most important, excuse me, fight of your career?
Yes, I feel like this is the fight that get me back up on the ranks, and I need this fight, and I want this fight, and I want to be able to take care of business once it come October 10, Friday night, and I want him to come with everything that he got. I'm gonna come in with everything that I got, and we're gonna make this a great match. I want to see him in the ring. I want to look him in the eye, and I want him to know that this is business.
Mhm.
Nothing personal. This is what we need to do. This is what he's gonna do for his family, because I understand that he has a daughter too. I have a daughter too. I have a wife. He has a wife. Let's get it.
I mean, that's the sport. When you look at your last fight, obviously it didn't go the way you wanted. What do you think you've learned the most about yourself, both as a boxer and did you learn about anything about yourself, maybe as a man, about how you can handle that loss?
Yeah, of course. The losses hurt. All the losses always hurt, but it's how we bounce back now, right? It's how we how we grab ourselves and be like, you know what? This is how God put you in this position for a reason. This is not like a setback. This is actually something that God wants to put you through so that way you could get through this kind of moments and understand these kind of moments and feel what you need to feel so you could be back on top again. So I know this is a fight that I really need and I really want, especially with that
Immediately.
last. Oh yeah, go ahead.
No,
Sorry,
no,
sorry.
go ahead, go right ahead. You're
Yeah, especially with that last fight, um, it's not good to be able to lose like that. But I feel like I need that, so it feels a lot more. I want this fight. I really need this fight.
after that loss. How long before you were right back, were you back until you were back in the gym? Excuse me. Was it immediately? Did you take a little time off? Did you want to get your mind right? What was the immediate aftermath of that fight?
After that fight, yeah, I did take a little time off. I spent time with my wife. Spent a lot of time with my daughter. Like all that missing time right in between, I wanted to make sure that I took care of that with them, especially because I know when I'm coming back into camp, I'm not going to be spending a lot more time with them as much. You know what I mean? So I always want to put that right there to spend time with them and being able to be there while I can.
Definitely. I mean,
Mm,
boxers, and I'm sure yourself, you give 110 during camp, and maybe
mm,
sometimes, unfortunately, family has to come second to your
mm.
camp. And hey, when you get that time off, of course, you want to spend it with your family. So rightfully so.
Yes.
Um, we
Yes.
talked we talked about you fighting in California. I was
Mm,
looking at your entire career, and you fought your first two pro fights in Mexico. And that's been
mm.
something that's always interested me about young fighters going fighting in Mexico. Is that something you would recommend for a young fighter to say, hey, why don't you, if you are from California or the South or close to Mexico, go over and fight in Mexico and see how it feels to fight in that environment before you get your feet wet here professionally as well?
Yeah, you know what? Even if there is in Mexico, I know there are some states where there's a lot of fighters that are not the best. But at the same time, yes, you can't be babied forever. There's going to be a time where you're going to be tested, and this is that moment for me, especially where I'm being tested left and right. The fights are only going to get harder, and what the fight's not going to get no easier. And even back in Mexico, there's a lot of good fighters too. These guys got hard heads, man. Sometimes it's hard to knock them down, hard to knock them out. Even coming into my first fight, I was like, bro, I'm gonna knock this guy out. They can't handle my power. But no, it's those fighters over there are tough. Not everybody is a bum over there.
Mhm,
So, a lot of respect to all those guys, especially those guys coming in from hard jobs and coming straight into a fight.
mhm.
That's what big thing that inspires me because I don't have to do that over here. But now obviously I'm able to take off time work and focus on my boxing career a little bit. After that, back into work again.
Mhm.
Uh,
With Mexico, how is the environment in Mexico? I mean, is it
hmm.
something that it was like you can you compare it to here when you fight in California? Have you fought what's been your favorite crowd so far? I'd like to ask in your career so far.
Favorite crowd in Mexico?
Or here. Well, what
Huh.
has been the best environment for a fight that you've walked through and into?
Um, to be honest, I really love it out here in California. I've
Mhm,
fought in Commerce probably twice already now too. I like fighting in LA. That was a cool venue to fight at. I do want to fight in Vegas. I would love to fight there. I would like to fight New York.
mhm.
I know they gave me a couple opportunities to fight over there in Vegas or New York, and I know that's probably an opportunity I would want to take, but after coming back from that loss, I had to take my time, ease my way in, and I feel like this one right here is a good opportunity to jump on.
Definitely.
Yes.
Training in the wild card gym and with Freddie Roach in the past, do you have any stories or tips that come and stick out immediately that you've been taught? Maybe it's about just boxing in general, maybe it's about you as a
Mhm.
boxer, just any tips or stories that you remember training with wild card and Freddie Roach.
Um, you know what? Training with Freddie Roach, it was for sure like something that I did want, especially, right? And I felt like it was such a great opportunity to be with one of the coaches that coached one of my favorite fighters, right? Um, Biggest thing is, especially training with Freddie Roach, him getting that explosiveness, especially in the mitts, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? And he is really, truly a good coach and strong, especially for the age and everything that he's going through, especially training all the other fighters that he has too. So he's for sure a great fighter, especially with my last fight. He was, telling me, teaching me how to stay a little bit patient. But then again, at the same time, I still need that Jesse, right?
Right.
That twitch. I need that twitch in there. So I'm happy to get my main coach back in the mix, and I'm ready to get it going.
That's incredible to hear. The guy you're
Mhm.
facing, Cornelio Phipps, 5 and
Mhm.
0, tough undefeated fighter. What have you been working in camp for him? I mean, you don't have to tell your entire game plan, but what do you see as some of his strengths and maybe a weakness or two in his game?
I think he's a really good fighter. And I see that he won 3 nationals, so obviously he's nothing to joke around about. And I know he went out of the States too, and he was competing with like some of the top pros in the other countries as well. So, being able to just share the ring with him is going to be an honor. But I do see some things that we do that we have been working in camp, and can't really say too much of what we've been working on. I don't really want to spill it because,
No worries, don't. No, you're
yeah,
good. No worries at all.
yeah. But we've been practicing a lot of stuff on in camp, and everything has been repetition on repetition on repetition. So when it comes fight night, everything just comes natural.
Mhm.
So I'm excited to come back with this next fight. I'm just really excited for the opportunities that Scott is giving me right now, and this is just such a big blessing to be a part of this card and to be a part of Red Owl, especially. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, it seems like it's going to be an amazing night of boxing on the 10th.
Mhm.
We're 3 days away from the 10th, recording this on the 7th. Talk to me. How are you going to spend these next 3 days? Is there still training you're going to do? Is it more about making weight, more about mentally getting prepared? What do these next 3 days look like for Jesse?
A lot of people think that I'm focusing on weight, but man, I've been eating 3 meals a day. I'm not worried about no diet. We do the runs and stuff like
Mhm,
that. We hit the sauna suits here and there, but weight's nothing that I'm like super concerned about. We're just practicing repetition on repetition on repetition. I'm ready for Friday. I really want him. I want this fight. I can't wait to be up in there in that ring with him.
yeah, it sounds like, hey, all the work's been done. You're just ready for the first bell. You're ready for the ring
Oh
walks
yeah.
and the first bell.
Yes, sir. I'm ready for that face off. And you know what? I've been eating 3 meals a day, but of course I'm ready to eat a really good meal right after that weigh-in. So I can't wait. I can't wait to face off with him. I can't wait to share the ring with him. I can't wait to shake his hand. Can't wait to get everything going.
That's what's the first meal for the weigh-in going to be? Do you know yet?
Dang, my wife has been telling me norms, but I don't know. I've been thinking about, dang, Filipino food. I like Filipino food. I like nilaga. I like sinigang. I like all the Filipino food. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Whatever the cravings hit at that moment. Obviously, you can't have too much carbs, right?
Mhm.
I don't wanna be bloated, big old stomach out out there, right in the middle of the rain. But I'm just if anything, I'm more ready to get in that ring than I am to eat. But obviously the meal, that's the big thing, right? That rehydration. I can't wait after that weigh-ins to get that sip of Pedialyte. I mean, I'm drinking water right now.
Mhm.
I'm actually drinking a gallon right now up until the fight of the camp. So I'm ready to go.
Mhm.
Mm.
That's incredible. We've talked
Yes,
about it.
sir.
Jesse, I want to hear from you. Last
Mhm.
question here. Friday
Yes,
night,
sir.
what should fans expect from you when you step in that ring?
A happy man of God, a warrior. I can't wait to show out again. And with the last camp that I had, I was actually a little sick for like 2 to 3 weeks. But fight got to go on, and I'm ready this fight. I'm not sick. I haven't been sick all camp. I'm ready to go. This is but that's the thing as a fighter. When we're sick, even if we're sick, sometimes we can't even call the fight off. A
Mhm.
lot of people come in to watch. I didn't have to sell no tickets last fight, but fights still got to go on a
Mhm.
lot of the time. So,
Yeah.
I'm ready to go. I'm not sick. I'm ready to see him. He's get ready to get the 100% Jesse. I'm ready to see the 100% Phipps.
Well, I'm looking forward to the fight. I know everyone tuning in and attending is going to be looking forward to the fight. Jesse, it's been a pleasure here talking to
Mm.
you before. Friday
Yes.
the 10th. I'm wishing you all the best luck come Friday night.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for giving me the opportunity to speak on this interview and, just being able to fight on this Red Owl card. I'm ready to go.
Thank you so much for joining me. Best of luck on Friday.
Yes, thank you so much.
Have a great day.
Okay.